Welcome to Hopping Chef and you're with Chef Shantanu. If you're from Mumbai, you would know what a Vada Pav is. But for those who don't know, I'll tell you it's a spicy potato preparation which is then coated with a batter of Bengal gram flour and served with a local variety of bread which is called a pav. But now let's just imagine I'm not in Mumbai and I'm representing Mumbai food at the Paris food show. Then what would I do? I would take this Vada Pav to a Michelin level. And how? You're just going to know it with me now. So as I just said, I would love to do it with my local Mumbai pav, but since I'm in Paris now, I'm using a French baguette and making it the Michelin style. So just some nice thick. So we've got some slices of the French baguette. I'm just going to toast it slightly. So in a preheated oven around 180 degrees, I'm just placing the slices to toast lightly. With this Vada Pav, we serve a very spicy, tangy chutney made out of a couple of things. We've got garlic cloves, we've got desiccated coconut, and we've got some sesame into this. I'm adding a good amount of chili powder and some salt. This is a local pestle and mortar, hammam dasta, as my grandmother used to use it, and so am I still. So nice, spicy, pungent. This is the garlic and coconut chutney out here. I've got this potatoes boiled with some turmeric and salt. So let me peel it off first. And I'm just going to literally crush it with my fingers. So this is not like a fine mash, just broken bits out here. So my aloo is done and my tempering pan is now ready. And chilies. No, Indian food is really incomplete without different chilies. So I've got nicely chopped chilies here. Just taking some oil off from here. Any regular oil will do. Cool. So now where does the taste come to this Vada Pav? Little patience here, chef. Let it heat up. Yes, they are there. So I'll take a good amount now with the mustard seeds, curry leaves, some ginger chopped, some garlic. Take it off the heat if you think it's too hot. Let's toss this up nicely. And just a little bit of turmeric. Turmeric and my chopped chilies in. A nice stir. Just a bit to cook it off. Spicy. Quickly with the potatoes in. The magical Indian herb coriander. And lots of it. Salt. So that's all that is going to make it spicy, tangy, flavorful. Let's just toss it off now. Just making sure all the spices are well incorporated into my potato and break the larger chunks further. And this Vada Pav is getting so famous suddenly that if you go to London, especially towards the eastern suburbs where you have a lot of Asian population, you're sure to find a vendor or two serving Vada Pav. But definitely not in this style. For the potato is almost done here. And already my crew is all coughing up. That's how spicy it is. So as I said, if you want to reduce it, add a little bit less chilies to it. But for me, there's no fun without the chilies. My toast is already crisped up in the oven. So I've put it off. So I've not colored them much. I've just made it slightly crispy. That's it. There's one more element to the Vada Pav. I was talking about that the aloo mix is coated with the Besan, or rather the Bengal gram flour. But we are not going to coat it. We are going to make something out of it called as khari boondi or spicy boondi, which is small granules, or you can say small balls of boondi. Oil heating up here. And I'm taking this basin. To my basin, I'm adding a little bit salt and once again just a hint of chili powder. But you can avoid it here if you want, because you've already added chili powder to, or rather chopped chilies to this, and chili powder to the chutney. So if you don't want it very spicy, in this mix you can avoid the chili powder. Just a little bit water. Approximately half quantity of water to the besan mix. So if you're taking 100 grams of besan, around 50 grams of water. Turn it into a nice thick batter. Slightly more. Optionally, you can add a little bit of baking powder to this, but not absolutely essential. What it does is it makes it puff up more, but not good to have too much baking powder. So you can make it without it. It just basically needs to crisp up. And I'll take this typical Indian equipment. This is called the jhari, which has got holes in it, but you can always use a spider or a small sieve that you have for making what I'm doing. It's called khari boondi. So I'll take a spoonful of this, roll it on this, and just drop it. So you'll get small granules of this flour going through, which in our local term is called boondi. Very similar to the spätzle that you make in German cuisine. Yo! So that's my boondi getting ready, and I'm going to use the same piece of equipment to take it off as well, but not before it has a nice crispy texture to it. So let it fry a while, change a little bit of color. Let me take an absorbent paper, so that will drain off the excess oil from my boondi. Okay, now this goes off, and with my boondi. So my boondi is ready as well, but I'm not going to settle with just my chutney, the local style. Let's make a nice foam out of it. So I've got a bit of milk warming up here. In the meanwhile, let's start plating our Vada Pav French style. That's the bhaji as we call it locally. So here I'm making quenelles out of it. Quenelles of the potato. One on each one. And rub it on the bread slice. So I'll do that on 2 for those who like it spicy, and we'll leave 2 just plain and simple for those who don't like it too spicy. So I've got the quenelles here. Next is my chutney foam, but not before I put some crispy boondi on top of this, and the excess goes on the side. Chutney inside a small bowl, and whisk the milk to have a slight foam on top. Yeah, so we can see some good amount of foam into the milk. We'll lighten the chutney with a bit of milk first, so it blends in well. Now the last thing with the foam. So with a spoon lightly off the milk, I'll take this foam one at a time, because it's going to sit very quickly, or I can rather just place this first and just add a bit of the chutney. Quickly with some coriander sprigs on top. So here you go. This is my Vada Pav recipe fit to serve in a Michelin restaurant. So I'm sure you enjoyed this Vada Pav recipe, and you can see how it's international now. So to know more about such recipes, local recipes, going international, some international recipes turning local, please subscribe to the channel.